Hello, I am Alexis and welcome to another video. I have actually been running around the entire school because I didn't drive. Today I rode with my mom because she's a teacher and there's just nowhere quiet to record when someone will walk in. Like, I went to go try in stairwell, that didn't work out. Anyway, today we're going to look at some r/am I the a-hole post because they probably are. So the grammar in this is wrong. It's supposed to say, am I the a-hole for getting a 26-year-old woman kicked out from a 25 and under support group? My college has these support groups where students can, get help from support each other in the presence of a counselor. The one I attend is supposed to be for people 25 who moved for college and is going through adjustments related to moving. Most of the participants are, like myself, freshmen. There's one girl who is a graduate student and she has moved to this town for college. She was 25 whenever the semester started, so she was allowed to join. She mostly talks about adjusting to life here in a new town, finding a part-time job, struggling with her imposter syndrome, and about missing her boyfriend who's going to move to join her this year. But the thing is, since she's older, it makes me and some of the others, although we don't say it out loud, uncomfortable that she's here. Like, it just seems like she has different issues with adjusting. I honestly don't know why she bothers coming, since it must be clear that none of us can relate, and most of us kind of find that her issues are a different part of life than ours. So anyway, I discovered that her birthday was in December, which means she turned 26 already, so I went to the counselor and told her this. The counselor said she was aware of it and she had spoken to the 26-year-old and she asked to be allowed to join until the end of the semester, which ends in about late March. I wasn't entirely happy with that since they're breaking the rules, so I let the admin section in charge of the support groups know this, and they emailed her and she doesn't come anymore. The counselor must have also got reprimanded or something, because the last session she made a statement regarding how she was sorry for allowing someone to violate her safe space. She didn't say anything to me directly, but during her statement she said that she was only trying to help someone and that's why she did it. I couldn't help but feel bad since, the 26-year-old is also a new student, but at the same time she was breaking the rules. A couple of other students have mentioned that they missed her and even arranged to hang out with her. I thought this was weird since she was older. Like, why is this 26-year-old hanging out with 19-year-olds? She does hang out with people her own age, but I still find it strange. Am I the a-hole? Honestly, I think if she was a male student, the response would have been different, but... Okay, so I have very, very strong opinions about this. I mean, I've done group counseling before, which sounds very, very similar to this situation, and it sounds like, this is a free class for people, and if they really need it, why are you gonna kick her out? Like, she said she was gonna leave in March, which doesn't sound that far away, because that's only a few months, honestly, and if this saves her some mental anguish, why would you bother her and make her leave? That's so inhumane and selfish that you can't let someone else in your group just be there and talk. It's so stupid. You're the a-hole. Go out and touch some grass, friend. I mean, I agree. Like, you are. Like, this is wrong. Keeping someone from getting help if they admit that they need it, that's just not right at all. That's like someone going to a counselor and after a while you take away their money and you're like, no more counselor for you, but they're like, I have it. That would be like, nope, this money is mine, you can't pay it. Like, it's not right. It's stealing. It is literally stealing someone's time, help, whatever. Am I the a-hole for not waking my partner up and causing him to miss a family trip? Me, she's 26 female. And my partner, 28 male, have 5 daughters, 7, 6, 4, 3, and 5 months. Wow. For a long time, there's been an issue with him getting up to help with the kids in the morning. He thinks he should be able to sleep in on his days off. Well, I think he should get up when the kids and I do, or we should at least be alternating who lies in a bit. We've been seeing a therapist who has mentioned he should be helping more in the mornings. Recently, we had a family trip planned to the zoo with both of our parents, our sisters, and their kids. Previously, when we gone out for the day, I've needed to shake my partner awake several times, and he lies in bed while I get the kids ready. He'll finally get up 5 minutes before we leave. As I shout at him, I'm getting in the car. I mentioned to him that this is very frustrating as it's a lot of work getting the kids ready to go out, and it's not fair to leave it up to me while he lies in bed. He'd apologize and promise that next time he'd help and get up. The night before the trip, I told him I'd need him to be awake at 6:30 a.m. so we could get everyone ready to leave by 8. He said he'd set an alarm and we went to bed. My alarm went off at 6:30 and I got up while my partner kept sleeping. I decided I wasn't going to wake him this time and continued getting the kids ready. At 8 a.m., he was still sleeping, so I loaded the kids in the car and we set on. We arrived at the zoo at 9, and his family asked where he was. I mentioned he was still in bed and he chose not to come. At 10:15, I got a phone call from him asking where everyone was. I said we went to the zoo as planned, and I waited for him to get up, but he never did. He got really mad and told me that I should have woken him up like I always do, and that I caused him to miss the trip. He then called his mom and complained to her, who yelled at me in the middle of the zoo that I was being unfair and should have given him a shake to let him know that he needed to get up and that I was about to leave. My mother jumped in and said that it wasn't my responsibility to get him out of bed and he needed to take responsibility for himself. A few more words were exchanged and his family stalked off for the rest of the trip. I had a blast with my kids, parents, sister, and my nephews. When we got home, my partner started up on me again about how I should have woken him up. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear any of the background. It's lunchtime and everyone is extremely loud. So, am I the a-hole for not waking him up and going without him? A few things have come up I want to clarify. He wasn't always like that. When the oldest two were little, he was always up with them. He even got up before anyone else to cook breakfast before going to work. We had to move in with his parents at one point, and that's where things started to change. His family was incredibly misogynistic. Dad works, then comes home, watches TV, and drinks beer while his mom does everything else, including getting him up for work, etc. These beliefs seem to have rubbed off on him, and his mom is very quick to label something as a woman's job. He's seeing a therapist independently who has suggested some form of depression. He's generally pretty good otherwise. He'll help with dinner, cleaning, putting the kids to bed, etc. He's not entirely useless. Getting out of the bed in the morning is a long-standing issue, though. He had a vasectomy after baby 4, which turned out to be incomplete, so I had a hysterectomy. So, another kind of strong opinion, not as nearly as strong as the last one. I mean, yes and no, I feel like, because if this is a long-standing problem and he chooses not to go get it done, then I mean, I understand being frustrated with him and just being like, you know what, do this. I don't care, you know. But at the same time, if the doctor is right and he does have some form of depression and that's leading up to it, I understand personally what it's like not being able to get out of bed. But if it's just because he's lazy or if it's because he's depressed, and that's where the real question, you know, comes in. So, not the a-hole. I taught my daughter that she was responsible for getting herself up in high school, and if she ever missed the bus, I wasn't going to drive her. She never missed the bus. I mean, okay, so I set an alarm and I drive myself to school every day, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with this, because I mean, I do get in trouble if I miss my alarm or if I sleep through it, but my mom gets in there, tells me, and then, you know, I kind of get in trouble, especially if it happens multiple times. I feel like that's better than making your child miss a literal day of school, and I feel like that's the same way for this, but it sounds like she's done that multiple times before, so I'm really up in the air about this one. I don't know, because he still could have went to the zoo after he woke up. Like, unless you guys don't have a separate car, you know, it's not impossible for him to, you know, not go. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I am about to go finish an essay for my English class that is due this Sunday, and I have only been working on it for about 2 hours, and I started today. So but Christmas break's coming up soon, and hopefully I should be able to get like a genuine schedule going. I'm probably just gonna post whenever I get, you know, a video done or whatever, or whenever I get an idea and then make it. So maybe twice, 3 times a week. Definitely not back-to-back days, especially not on the weekends. I'm going to the Nutcracker this weekend. Wish me luck, because our last experience there wasn't too good. That's gonna be a story time eventually. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.